Hey guys, Zambina here and welcome back to another speed build video, and I'm so glad that you're here for this fairly large family home in Brindleton Bay. I say fairly large because this build actually turned out a lot smaller than I initially intended. I thought that it was going to take up the entire lot, but it didn't, and I actually had space to give this family a fairly large side yard as well, with a pool and a pool house, and it's all very fancy. This is a family that has money. That's very clear from the build, I think. This build was inspired by a picture I found on Pinterest, a picture that I found and just immediately fell in love with. I saw it and I was like, yes, I have to build this. This is gorgeous. I will put that picture up on the screen so that you can see it. This build is intended for 2 parents and 3 children and 3 pets if you want. There is space for a dog and 2 cats was kind of what I had in mind, but obviously you can have other configurations of pets or no pets at all if you don't want to. I am not the boss of you, you can use my builds however you like. This build also includes the new bunk beds that we got with the base game update on the 23rd, and I am so excited that we got them. I love them. I hope that we will get more variations of them in the future because they have a lot of potential. And yeah, I'm using them for the room of the 2 twin boys that I had imagined as 2 of the children. 2 child Sims boys that are twins. And then the other child is a teenager, a girl, and then we have 2 parents. That's just what I pictured when I built this. Again, I am not your boss. You can use my builds for whatever family dynamic you would like. It's just easier for me sometimes to picture a certain family or family dynamic when I build, because it kind of helps me decorate and it helps me shape the build into what I want and try to make it a bit more realistic, I suppose. I don't know if that actually how that works, but I enjoy doing it regardless. And you can see I'm still working on the roof. The roof was a thing and a half for this build. It took me a long time, especially on that wee protrusion at the back. There was a lot of off-camera configuring with that to try and make it not look super weird. I still don't think it looks perfect, but it was honestly the best I could do. And the original house, the one I saw on Pinterest, it didn't have a visible foundation in the front. That's because it was built on like a hill, so it went like behind the house. There was a hill down, so like it was a thing that was very difficult to replicate in Sims without it looking weird, because I didn't want to just have a big hill in the front of the lot. That's kind of how it would have been if I had tried to replicate that exactly. So I gave it a foundation, and unlike the actual house that I found on Pinterest, there's no like garage doors or anything, just because it would look weird to have garage doors above a foundation, because how the hell would you drive a car into there if there's a foundation there? I could erase the terrain, which I tried to do a little bit, but it just looked weird and I didn't like it. So I just did this and just ignored the fact that, you know, there were garage doors there. I wasn't trying to like make an exact replica. I was just trying to replicate a look that I really liked. And I didn't follow any sort of floor plan. I think there were floor plans that I found for this house and like interior pictures, but I didn't follow them because doing that, like trying to follow something that's real, it is quite stressful to me and I don't enjoy it overly much. I quite like just doing what I can come up with in my imagination instead. That's more enjoyable to me. And the windows are a good mix of things, actually. I'm not just sticking to one expansion for the windows and doors, which is kind of unusual, but it worked. I was just trying to get out of my comfort zone with that. I think the windows are, there's Strangerville, there is some base game in there is some cats and dogs. I think it's cats and dogs, the bigger windows I have in the back. Or they might be Discover University. I actually am not sure. Regardless, there was a little bit of recording missing just there because I forgot to hit my hotkey to unpause the recording because I am a dum-dum. But as you can see, you didn't miss much. I just basically put down the terrain paint for the driveway here and put down the cars and the bicycles. That was about it. Didn't miss much. And I'm putting a fence all around because I'm imagining, you know, fancy house, fancy neighborhood. They've got quite a big yard with like a pool and things like that. They want some privacy and protection. I will say preemptively, there is a lot of landscaping that I've cut out, mainly because it's all very much the same. You will see in the finished build, like there's a lot of just the same kind of plants and flowers going all around the lot. So a lot of that has been cut out just for time and because it's boring to watch. But now I'm starting to work on the pool area, and the pool is going to get smaller than that. It's not a ridiculously huge pool or anything. I just wanted them to have a pool because I figured a family this size that has money for a house like this, they probably have a pool. Even though they are right next to the sea. But, you know, it's nice to have a pool. There's a big difference between swimming in a pool and swimming in the sea. And I made them a little pool house thingy there in which I will put a barbecue and a place to eat. And I'll also put an outside place to eat. So, you know, if it's warm but maybe rainy a little bit or not great weather, maybe a little bit windy, they can still sit outside and eat, but they can sit in the pool house and have a bit of protection from the elements. Or if it's nice and sunny and no wind or no rain or anything like that, they can sit outside. And as you can see, there's now been a fair amount of landscaping done around the edges of the lot, and it's all pretty manicured, all pretty uniform. But yeah, I cut that out, as well as most of me putting the terrain paint down because it's not very fun to watch, and this video is long enough already at like almost 34 minutes, including the screenshots. So anything I can do to cut out time is good. Someday I will learn how to make shorter videos. I still feel like I've gotten a lot better since I first started with how I record and how I deal with like pausing and unpausing the recording when I need to figure stuff out and things like that. But, you know, I'm not perfect and I'm still very much learning, and I hope that this video isn't way too long for people to watch. I know some people like longer videos and some people don't, but you know, everyone's different and you can't please everyone. And I'm just working on the pool, bit of lighting, bit of decoration, put some loungers out there, and I'm starting to work on the interior of the pool house. I'm giving them a fancy schmancy grill because of course, and I give them some outdoor furniture from backyard stuff, not perfect patio stuff. I get them mixed up sometimes. Not that they're very similar in style, but they're just kind of the same theme, like stuff you put on your patio / backyard. I get them mixed up sometimes, but that is from backyard stuff. And I'm just starting to put on some decorations in the pool house. I go back and forth a bit about how I want to decorate it, because I really don't have any idea going into it. I just kind of wing it. Put some climbing flowers on the side. I really, really love those flowers. They are from Island Living, I believe. They are so nice and lush and beautiful, and I love putting them wherever I can. I really should put more like climbing vines and flowers on my buildings. What I do, although I do usually use just the green vines, like the flowerless ones from there's from vampires, I believe. But I should use the flower ones more, because they are really, really pretty. And I'm putting a outside dining bench as well, and I'm putting up some outdoor lights. I do put outdoor lights all around the house and garden basically, but I cut that out because it's dull to watch and also for time. And I'm working on the main front bit here by the driveway, putting down some bushes. I actually removed these. I changed my mind on what bushes I want. I worked back and forth on this a bit because the thing is, I knew I wanted the hollyhocks because the hollyhocks are absolutely gorgeous. Every single flower that came with the Romantic Garden stuff pack is absolutely gorgeous. Look at these. Look at them. I love them. They are so pretty. And that was me trying to decide which colors to use, because I was like, I don't want to just use all of them. Like, I want some color in there, but not too much. I know I didn't want the super dark reds or anything like that, but I just wanted some pops of color and just trying to figure out what else to do, because that was too much. Sometimes it'd be that way. And I'm working on this area now, which is kind of the front bit of the side yard. And it's a fountain with benches around. There is some flower pots for gardening. There's quite a lot of skill building items in this build, which, I mean, fair enough, it's a big build. But there's going to be quite a lot of them kicking about. Put down a clothesline, some gardening tools, these it's a insect box and a bee box, I think that's what it is. I don't use them that much because I don't play that much. And obviously a swing set and a climbing frame monkey bars for the wee kids. And I'm working on the back patios / balconies. I love these kinds of balconies, like the ones that just one above the other. I think it's really nice. I think it looks really cool, especially with the rounded bit all around it. The rounded bit all around it. I can English well. I can English good. And I think I'm finally going to start working on the interior. What a concept. The exterior took a long time. I've noticed that a lot more lately, that I'm working on the exterior first and finishing it first, probably because I enjoy the exterior less than the interior. It's not that I don't like doing the exterior, I like the interior more in general. And look, blue bathrooms. Are you surprised? No? No? Cool. We're good. We're on the same page. Yeah, that bit there, I wasn't sure if I wanted to make this a bathroom because it has like the normal windows and it's quite large. But I ended up doing it. I'm just going to put like blinds over the windows and also divide it up so that there's going to be a laundry room because there will be laundry in this build. Which obviously if you don't want, you can just remove it because I realize that some people will find it annoying. And again, I don't play that much. I don't know how annoying laundry is, but I felt like it was realistic, especially in a home this size. And I've finally started to work on the kitchen, and this is actually not a huge kitchen for like a family this size. Although I guess there's only 5 actual like Sims in here and then there are pets. But it's not that large, at least not in my mind. One thing that I do that I actually don't show on camera is that I do put an island down. I realized that when I was taking screenshots. I was like, there's really not a lot of space here, and there's just this big empty space in the middle of the floor, and I could just, you know, put an island down and give them some more space to prepare food and put things down. So I do that, and that will be in screenshots. It's not in the actual build, but it'll be in screenshots. It's just a simple 2 islands, and it's not clutter or anything. It's really just for some more counter space for them in general. And I've been using these hanging pots from Nifty Knitting and Paranormal, and I love them. I think they're so pretty. I know that at least I was missing hanging plants and pots for so long, and now we have them, and I hope that we will get many more because they are perfect and I love using them for decorating, just in general. And I put a fan down. I don't know why I put a fan down in the ceiling. It just felt like it fit the aesthetic of the kitchen, kind of going in. Like, I was careful with this because for some reason I kept wanting to go very rustic with it. I don't know if that's just kind of my natural state of building, but I wanted this house to look fairly modern inside. Like, rustic definitely has its place, and rustic can be very pretty and very homely and welcoming and cozy and all those lovely things, but that was just not the vision that I had for this build. You can see I'm putting some flower boxes down. I also cut most of that out because it's just me going around putting flower boxes on all the windows, and it just looks kind of the same. And then I've started to clutter up the kitchen a little bit. Some clutter on top of the fridge, clutter on top of the microwave. Like, this was before I put the islands down, so I didn't really have much space to clutter. I didn't want to clutter up the islands on the other side of that dividing wall. Dividing wall. I can talk. Because I was like, that's people are going to sit there to eat, and I didn't want to like try to block that. Like, that wasn't really a clutter space, it was more of an eating space. But when my test sim actually made food, they didn't go and automatically sit at those chairs. They actually went and sat at the dining table that I will put behind those chairs in a little bit. So I'm not really sure. Sims are going to be Sims. Sometimes they go and sit in places that don't make sense. We all know this. There have been many bug fixes for this, but sometimes it be like that. And kitchen clutter is just one of those things that I can spend absolute ages and ages and ages on, and I try not to because, you know, I have a build to finish and I don't have all the time in the world. And that's me trying to put some stuff on that cabinet without remembering that I sized it down because it is a cats and dogs cabinet? Cats and dogs or Parenthood? One of the two. Sometimes they also melt together in my head. And I sized it down because I think it was made for the medium wall height, which I'm not using here. So that's why that didn't work. And I realized also that I played a little bit of a dangerous game because I started furnishing the interior without having decided where the stairs was going to go. So there was a lot of finagling and like trying to figure out where best to put the stairs. Now I realized it might be a bit weird to put them in the middle of the hallway like that, but because it's like the stairs that are hollow underneath, I think it kind of works. If it was the stairs that were like, that have like a whole thing, like they have walls underneath them and it blocks kind of a lot of light and space, that might have not worked as well. But because it was stairs that are just, you know, hollow underneath, I think it worked. I think it worked out okay. And as you can see, I'm currently in the process of putting curtains down all over the house. These main curtains that I'm using are Seasons curtains. They are some of my absolute favorite curtains in the game. I think they're really versatile. I think they're really pretty. And I'm working on the dining area. And that table I'm using is actually from that update we got for the 21st anniversary, where they contacted a bunch of CC creators, a bunch of custom content creators, and they put their actual custom content creations in the vanilla base game, which I thought was absolutely amazing and I love them. And I believe the stools I'm using for the island there in the kitchen are also from there. I believe that table and those stools are by Hey Harry, I think. I'm pretty sure. But I think they're gorgeous. I think they're perfect. There's so many swatches of wood there and I love it. It's perfect. I think it's so pretty. And those pictures I put behind the dining table was also from the most recent update, the same one we got the bunk beds in, which is where they added swatches to a lot of the pictures, which included a bit more diversity, a bit more options, and I was so excited about that, especially for that picture that I used behind the dining table, because I like to use that one a lot, but there was only basically one swatch, just one picture, but different frame colors, so I couldn't really like layer it up or put several of them on the same wall like I like to do. But now I can because they're different swatches and I'm so happy. It's I don't know if that's a ridiculous thing to be happy about, but it is. It makes me happy. I still feel like we are limited on really good artwork and curtains in The Sims. And I'm really happy that they gave us more options and more inclusive options as well. I'm putting down a little ottoman here. You know, you can sit here and read, or just sit and relax, maybe take your shoes off, put your shoes on, whatever you like. And I'm putting a fireplace down, and I will also be building a chimney. I cut that out because for some reason I struggled building a chimney. I don't know why I struggled building a chimney. I am side-eyeing myself slightly. So this is basically one of the 2 seating areas with couches in the build. There's this one down here with the fireplace. There'll also be a bookcase. Bit of a more public one for guests and such, and then there will be one upstairs which has a TV, huge TV, and for more, I don't know, private family use, I'm guessing. But yeah, I cluttered up the mantle there on the fireplace. I cut that out because it took me longer than it should have, because I don't know, I'm a scrub, it's fine, it works. And now I'm just cluttering up the coffee table. I like these big coffee tables. I know they're huge, but the big square ones I really like. I believe this one is from Parenthood. I don't know, maybe. I think it's from Parenthood. And that stack of magazines is like one of my favorite clutter items ever. It's great. I love it. And you may have seen I put down a book clutter from Nifty Knitting. I am thinking that at least one of the parents is really into knitting. Now, it may even be both parents, because you will see when I make the master bedroom, which is towards the end of the build, there's a lot of knitting stuff in there. I kind of went ham with the knitting stuff in the master bedroom, and I didn't even plan on that. It just kind of happened like that. But I really like how it came out. And I'm putting a computer here. There are 2 computers in this house. There's one here, more of a family computer, and then there is one in the teenage daughter's room. I would have put one in the parents' bedroom, but I couldn't really fit it because the master bedroom really isn't that large. Well, I mean, it's larger than the others, but with the other stuff I put in there and just the shape of it, which is a little bit awkward, there was no space to put a computer in there. But I'm thinking that the parents don't really use the computer that much, like they like to do other things, like gardening and knitting, obviously. And I thought that the twin boys probably weren't old enough to warrant their own computer, whereas the teenage girl, I'd like to think that she has a computer because, you know, this family is rich and, you know, they would give their teenager a computer, most likely. And this is the little laundry room. I really like how it came out. I think it's so cute. I think it's really, really cute. I love the laundry stuff. I really, really like the laundry stuff we have. It's so perfect. It's so cute. It works really, really well. It makes a really nice room. And I can't say enough good about it. And I've started to work on the teenage girl's room. It is quite pink, which I guess is a stereotype, but you know, I mean, even if it is a stereotype, there's nothing wrong with being a teenage girl and liking pink, you know. There's nothing wrong with being that way, even if it is a bit of a stereotype. And what I imagined for the daughter is that she is quite artsy. I think I give her some arts and crafts clutter, and I also give her an easel. I usually put a lot of easels in a build. Well, no, I'm not going to say usually, but I usually want to, because it's one of those things that whenever I play, when I do, it's one of those things that I default to for skill building. Easels, because it's good and it gets you money and all that. And it's easy to do. But she is the only one that has an easel in this house. And yeah, picture her being quite artsy, quite girly, quite just laid back and chilled out, you know. And I give her a little ottoman for reading and a bookcase, and there's going to be some clutter on the desk, just your standard desk clutter, pens, books, things like that. I picture she's quite studious. I'd like to think that she is. Like, you know, she's a good student. She's not any sort of like crazy party goer or anything like that. Not that you can't both go to parties and be a good student, but you know what I mean. And as you can see, I have cut out me doing the bathroom. I've cut out all the bathrooms except for the master bathroom upstairs, the ensuite to the parents' bedroom, for time and because they're all pretty similar. They're not identical. They have a little bit of different color schemes, a little bit of different stuff going on, but they're mostly the same. And there are 4 of them in this house, I believe. 4 of them, 4 bathrooms, 3 bedrooms. 1 ensuite to each bedroom, and then 1 bigger bathroom downstairs that can be used for guests and such. The one that is right next to the laundry room. And I give her some plants as well. I was going to put more plants in that corner, and then I was like, you know what? There's a lot of stuff going on here already with the ornate mirror and the curtains and all that. And I was like, you know what? Nah, it's fine. It works. Like, it's again that compulsive need to fill up every square inch of floor and every wall and just everything like that. And I was like, you have to chill. And one thing I do put here is a little cat bed. So just the one little cat bed, but I also give them a cat tree out right there, out in the living room. Now I'm picturing that she has a cat bed in her room because one of the cats is actually hers. Like, she saved up money and she adopted it or something like that, and she like pays for it, for its food and things like that. And the other cat is a family cat, like it's owned by the parents, same as the dog would be. But yeah, she has her own cat, and that's why she has a little cat bed in her room for her cat. And now I'm working on the master bathroom upstairs. This is the only bathroom that is done on camera. It is very blue, as you can see, quite modern. I tried to be a little bit creative with what I did with the shower and the bathtub here. I was worried that it wouldn't work, that the shower would block access to the bathtub, but because it's one of those wall showers, it's from Snowy Escape, and I love it. It is great. It works. It works just fine. I tested it. It works perfectly. So that's good. And again, one of the shelves from Laundry Day. I love them. They're great, they're amazing, they're beautiful, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, the bathrooms are all pretty sleek, pretty blue. They've got some different color accents of like towels and like shower curtains in the kids' rooms and things like that. But other than that, they're all very, very similar. But you'll see in the screenshots You probably won't be able to tell them apart though. They're really not that different. Hence why I only kept one in. And just cluttering up the normal sink clutter, the soap, the toothbrushes and things like that. Yeah, tried to put mirrors there, but it didn't really work out the way I wanted. And I put that divider from Spa Day, which is like the bamboo, like that one. Like it's a little bit extra and I'm not sure if it fits, but I really, really like it. I don't know. It was just something about it. And this is the boys' room with the bunk bed. It is so cool and I love it. I love it. I love it. It's so, so cute. And I'm so happy that we have it. And I'm so happy that you can put the lower bed at an angle like that. Like once you put it down, you can move the lower bed around. You can change the swatches individually so they don't have to be the same. I did keep them the same for this though, because I'm thinking like these are identical twin boys. They are very similar. They have the same interests. And like the girls' room, the teenage daughter's room, this is quite a stereotypical boys' room because it's blue and, you know, it has all these things, all these sports posters, things like that. And again, like, it's a stereotype, but, you know, there are plenty of young boys who are into things like that, and there's nothing wrong with that. Even if it is a stereotype, it is a stereotype for a reason, because a lot of people of that age are into those things. So, yeah, that's how it be. And now I'm working on the parents' bedroom. You can see there's a little bit of an awkward shape with the entrance there and whatnot, but I put a mirror there because I was trying to make good use of the space and I couldn't decide which one, as you can very plainly see, but I did decide on one eventually. And this bed, I spent a lot of time trying to decide which bed to use because I wanted something vaguely greenish, but then I was like, not too green, and then it was really hard to pick that bed, but I'm very happy that I did because I think it works out really, really well. And I've been using those wall decorations with the clothes hangers a lot in this build, and I'm really happy I have because I really like how they look. I really like the look they bring to a room, and when you put them by the wardrobe, they're in 2 of the 3 bedrooms in this house, I think. No, it's in all 3. I lie. I do not remember what I've done in my own builds. Oh no. I'm a horrible, horrible person. Yeah, that one was too big. Yeah, you can see I am putting down some of the nifty knitting clutter / decorations. There's going to be a lot more just coming in. And I didn't really plan on this. Like, this just kind of happened organically, I suppose. I just started looking for decorations and then I just went into the nifty knitting pack and I was like, yep, this. It just kind of fit. Like, it was just kind of the vibe I was getting from the room. I'm not sure why exactly, but I like it. I really enjoy it. I like how it came out. And yeah, the parents are into knitting. I'm pretty sure both parents are into knitting because I have a hard time like seeing how there would be this much knitting stuff in here if both parents weren't into knitting. It might be too much. Is it too much? I'm not quite sure, but I really, really like how it looks. And I'm working on the TV area upstairs on the little hallway / landing area. It's not very little, I guess, but you know what I mean. And that TV is ridiculously huge. The reason I took that big TV, why I chose that, was because I said I didn't take any inspiration from the interior pictures I found of the actual house that I found on Pinterest. There was one that had like a room with a home cinema, essentially. And I wanted to kind of emulate that because a family this rich with this big of a house and a big family like that, you know, it felt appropriate to have a ridiculously huge TV. It might be too big. I mean, if it's too big, you can take it down and put a slightly smaller one there if you want. It is ridiculously large. I actually played around with the thought of using the actual like home cinema screen that is from, I believe, Movie Hangout stuff. But that one was too large. Too large for this size of room, too large for the wall. It was not working. I think you maybe need to have like the medium-sized walls or medium-height walls at least for that to work, because it was not working out. It looked better, like the look of it was more what I was going for, but the size of it was just not working out. So this one was second best, and I'm cool with that. I'm happy with that. Ridiculously large TV. Yes, please. All the way. I'm just cluttering up the area, putting down some artwork that I can't decide on, evidently. art. See, that's why I say, like, I always say we have not enough art, but then I struggle to decide between the different pieces of art. And I find that slightly ironic. You know, that's just me talking shite. Oh, sometimes I really don't know what I'm talking about. And I put down a dog bed because I realized I haven't put down a dog bed. So there is a dog bed. Now, whether if the dog will actually use it or not, that's different subject entirely. But, you know, it's there, available. And I've started to work on the outside patios / balcony. And I've got the flower arranging table and some just clutter items to kind of make it look a bit more realistic. And I've got another seating area here upstairs. I'm picturing this being somewhere the parents hang out a bit more. Maybe if they're having friends over and it's a warm summer night, you can sit out here and have drinks. Things like that. Sounds pretty nice. I imagine this is more of a place where the parents hang out, mainly because they have a door from their bedroom that leads right to that balcony. But we are coming up on the screenshots very, very soon. This build is fully playtested and available on the gallery. My ID is Zambina and all the information can be found in the description. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you have any thoughts on this build, I would love to hear them in the comments below. And I hope to see you in the next video. Bye!
You on a Monday and already by